What's going on, y'all? Every day means every day, episode number 5. And in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to take your fear, your anxiety, your anger, and your frustration and transmute that into the action that you need to take in order to improve your life. Because quite frankly, we are living in a society right now that is pacifying you. We're living in a society that says, oh, if you feel fear, if you feel anxiety, if you feel frustration, you know what? Just go back to bed. Everything's going to be okay. Don't try and overcome it. Don't try and confront it. Don't try and take action. Don't try and press through it. It's probably the world's fault anyway for creating an environment and a situation and a circumstance that led you to feel this way. It's not your fault. Don't worry about it. Just push it to the side and it'll all be okay. That's the world that we live in. That's the type of toxic messaging that we are receiving nowadays. They are literally neutering us right in front of our eyes, and we don't see it because they're doing it psychologically. They're kind of doing it physically too, but that's a political video in the making. That's neither here nor there. But my point is, they are psychologically neutering us in an attempt to make us less than we could possibly be. Don't misunderstand me. This is not some conspiracy theory video. I'm just telling you the current messaging of society is intentionally designed to make you less than you could possibly be. Because if you don't get over your fear, you're never going to reach your potential. If you don't get over your anxiety, you will never reach your potential. If you don't get over that frustration that you feel and use it for a good purpose, you're going to be stuck. You might be stuck for the rest of your life. You're going to be looking back 20, 30, 40 years from now saying, I didn't cover any ground. I spent this entire time unhappy, frustrated, fearful, and because of that, I never took the steps that I needed to take to get myself into the position that I really wanted to be in and live the life that I thought that I deserved. And if you're wondering who am I to even say these things, I'm somebody who struggled with each and everything that I just told you about. I'm somebody who struggled from anxiety, somebody who struggled from panic attacks, not shaky hands and sweaty palms type of panic attacks. Put me in the doctor's office because I was having a seizure because I lost complete control over my body because that's the level of soul-crushing fear that I felt, that type of panic attack. So I've been there. I've experienced this. I used to have anger management issues like crazy. Like I have experienced everything that you feel right now. I'm also a motivational speaker and peak performance coach. I've worked with people like Grammy and Emmy award-winning artists, 8-figure entrepreneurs, some of the biggest personal brands that you've ever heard of, and even Olympic athletes. So I teach people how to do this stuff for a living. I help people reach their potential daily instead of just occasionally. Most people, they're stuck in that, occasionally, every month, every couple weeks, I'll have a great day and I'll really live up to that version of myself that I feel like I truly am. But every other day, I'm falling short of my potential. I help people get to that level daily, not occasionally. But my point is this: if you're struggling with fear and anxiety, the number one thing that I need you to do is confront it head on. It will only grow if you don't look at it. Jordan Peterson talks about this. The monster under the bed gets bigger if you refuse to look at it. Once you take a peek under the bed, you take your flashlight, you look around down there, and you're like, oh, it's actually not that scary. But the first step is being willing to confront it. That's number one. The second thing I want you to understand is that fear and that frustration that you feel is a built-in mechanism. God gave it to you. This is not random. It is a built-in mechanism for you to take the action needed to reach for your potential. So here's how I want you to start to conceptualize this. Here's where you were born. All right. You were born with limitless potential and zero actual manifested potential. Okay. So you haven't done anything yet, but you've got limitless potential. At the end of your life, if you make all the right decisions, if you invest in yourself, if you go all in, if you work hard, if you do everything you're supposed to do, this is your maximum capacity. This is the God-given potential that you have had since birth, but it's maxed out. Okay. You're somewhere in the middle. You're not useless. You've accomplished something. You've done something. You've grown. You've developed yourself. You've gotten a couple of skills. So you're not at the bottom. You're not an infant anymore, but you haven't completely maximized your potential. I know that because you're watching this video right now and you're still here. All right. There's still more to give. You haven't finished the race yet. You've got more in you. So you're somewhere in the middle here. What happens to people is when they're in that state, they get this calling from within their soul. It's deep. It's this deep resonant feeling that, you know what? I think I could do more. And you're absolutely right. You know what? I think I could have more. I think I could be more. I think I could impact more. I think I could do things at a bigger level. You feel that calling within you, don't you? You feel that pull towards doing more, towards doing something greater. Everybody has this. You're not alone. You're not unique in this. Everybody has that feeling and that calling. And what happens is when we feel that, we subconsciously begin to move towards our potential. We start to move towards maximizing ourselves. Along the process, though, we encounter obstacles. We encounter things that either make us fearful or frustrated. Let's take it one at a time. When we encounter things that make us fearful, what happens is oftentimes we withdraw because we don't want our maximum potential as much as we want to avoid the fear, right? We look at something that's fearful to us, that looks scary, that looks like I might have to get out of my comfort zone. I might have to grow out of my shell a little bit. This was me, by the way, with public speaking. I was a diehard introvert with the worst social anxiety you've ever seen. So when I found speaking and coaching, I was like, I want to do this work because I really want to help people. But my challenge is I'm so afraid of getting out there, putting myself out there and speaking in front of people. I don't think that I can do it. It made me fearful. It made me fearful. So on the journey to your potential, you're going to encounter fear and hesitation and trepidation and doubt and so many other things. And I want you to understand that that's normal. All right. I want you to understand that that's completely normal and that that's nothing to be concerned about. But it is something to be concerned about if you allow the fear to make decisions on your behalf. It is something to be concerned about if you allow the fear to control you, because at that point, you are not actually in control. You're being possessed by the spirit of fear that is making choices on your behalf. You're not even consciously involved in the choices that you make, right? So that's one problem that some people run into along that path to their potential. Now, the other challenge is this frustration, because we feel like we're working so hard. We feel like we're doing everything that we're supposed to be doing. And then we see some guy drive by in a Lambo and we're just like, what? I'm busting my butt over here and I don't have what this guy has. Or you see somebody post on Instagram, they're flexing, they just went on a vacation, they got whatever it is that you want. And maybe it's not financial. Maybe they got the body that you want. Maybe they got the girl that you want. Maybe they got the career that you want. Maybe they got I don't know what it is. Maybe they got the spot on the team. That was me, right? I got 2 Big Ten championships as a coach at the University of Michigan from the same team that I was cut from 4 years in a row. So maybe they got the spot on the team. I don't know what it is for you, but they have something that you don't. And now you're frustrated because you feel like you're a human, they're a human. If they've got it, you should be able to get it too. And you're absolutely right. But what society will tell you is they want to program you to pacify you. And they're going to say, no, comparison is the thief of joy. No, you shouldn't be looking at them and asking questions and logically thinking through, oh, wait, they are not special. They are not unique. They're a human like I'm a human. Therefore, it's possible for them, so it's possible for me. How did they do it? What do they know that I don't? What habits and vices did they not have that I have? What positive habits do they have that I don't have? What accountability do they have? What coaching do they have that I don't have? That's the way that you should be thinking about this stuff. But instead, we just get frustrated, we get angry, we get mad, and we just put that in on ourselves. We take that anger and we force it in on us. All right, I want to tell you something really crazy that when I learned this about biology, it absolutely blew my mind. There's a part of your brain called the PAG, periaqueductal gray matter. And that is the circuitry, each affect, each emotion. You can read about this in a book called Affective Neuroscience. I believe the author is, his last name is Pangsep. I can't remember his first name, but it's called Affective Neuroscience. Go look it up. Phenomenal book. It's dense, but it's really good. It'll teach you a lot about how you think and why you feel what you feel. And in this book, Pangsep says that periaqueductal gray matter, there's a circuit in there, all right? There's a specific circuit for the emotion of fear. It's a specific circuit, which means, by the way, that it can be trained just like a muscle. So the more often that you feel fear and do not confront it, the more proclivity towards fear that you have. The more often you feel fear and you don't overcome it, you don't do anything about it, you back down from it, the more you train that muscle to say, oh, it's easy for me to feel fear and nothing happens. Right? The vice versa is also true. The more that you feel fear and you overcome it, you face it, you confront it, the easier that becomes over time. It's just like a muscle. The circuitry in your brain works just like muscles do. Now, that same circuit is used for rage. So your fear response and your rage response pass through the exact same part of the brain. And we know this intuitively. If you get jump scared, you go to a haunted house and somebody jumps out and scares you, a lot of people's first reaction is you kind of get pissed off. You get scared and then you get pissed in like the same moment, right? And then you want to fight the guy. You're like, We've all seen those videos on YouTube. Somebody gets scared and they just start throwing punches, right? Fear and rage are inherently linked. Now, here's where the self-mastery comes in. When you feel fear, it is likely that that will trigger a feeling of frustration in you. So whether or not you start with the fear and then it triggers frustration, or you see something and it just starts with the frustration, it's the same path. We're getting to the same place. You're going to feel frustrated in life. You're going to feel like you're not enough in life. You're going to feel like you're behind. You're going to feel irritated that you haven't lived up to your potential yet. And I'm telling you, the world is going to say that that's a problem. I believe that that circuitry in your brain was put there intentionally and deliberately to help you take action. Because when you really get that feeling of rage, if you can just point it in the direction of action that will make your life better, don't point it back in on yourself and don't point it at other people. This is what most people do. They get into a situation in life where they're fearful, they're broke, they're scared, something's going on, they're fearful, or they're frustrated that they haven't lived up to the potential that they know that they have inside of them. And because they're fearful and they're frustrated, they get enraged. And they take that rage out on the world. And they say, you know what? Rich people are evil. You know what? People that look a certain way, these bodybuilders, these people that got all the stuff that I want, they're evil people. They took the easy way out. They cheated. And you start just going in on these other people. Or you start going in on yourself. You start saying, you know what? I'm not worth it. You know what? I do suck. You know what? I'm never going to make it. And they go in on themselves. I need you to stop doing that. I need you to take that anger that you feel. Take that rage that you feel. Don't stifle it. Don't get rid of it. That's energy. That's power that you need to be able to accomplish your goal. But don't put it towards other people and don't direct it inward on yourself. Take it and transmute it and direct it consciously and intentionally towards accomplishing your goals. Take it out at the gym. Take it and make it move you into action to start that business. Take it and make it move you into action and go talk to that girl that you've been wanting to talk to, but you've been afraid to this whole time. Take it and make it move you into action. I remember when I was in gymnastics, and the only way, I was such a fearful kid. Like when I tell you that I used to have anxiety, I'm not playing with you. I literally used to be so scared that there were certain skills in gymnastics that I wouldn't even really try. I was training, but I was like not even really going all in on it because I was so afraid of the skill. And the only way that I would learn some of these skills is if I got to a point where I was so pissed off at myself that I just said, you know what? Screw it. I don't care if I fall. I don't care if I get hurt. All in. All in. What's it going to take for you to go all in on your life? What's it going to take for you to go all in on you? What's it going to take for you to go all in? I want you to take that thing that you feel, that mechanism that God gave you, that he put inside of you to move you into action. And I want you to go do something about it. By the way, this is spiritual mastery. I don't want to get too off into left field here, but what we're talking about right now is spiritual mastery. When you can take these emotions, these affects, right? Jordan Peterson talks about how each emotion that you have is almost like its own personality. I think of it as a spirit, because it really is a spirit. Anger, if you get hit by a bus today, anger will still exist. So it exists externally from you. So that's a spirit. And it can make decisions on your behalf if you're not in control of it. It can possess you. And so what you can do is you can gain mastery and control over that spirit and make it work for you. You can make it work for you. Instead of you being a slave to it, you can make it a slave to you, and you can make it push you and drive you and fuel you to go accomplish everything that you want to accomplish and actually get closer to your goals. So I'm saying this to you. I'm getting out of here. This has been a long video. I'm getting out of here. If you feel fear, if you feel anger, if you feel frustration, if you feel rage, if you feel upset at yourself, if you feel upset at the world, I need you to take that energy. It's there for a reason. It's there for a purpose. It's not your enemy. It's not your enemy. It's there for you. I need you to take it, and I need you to use it to direct yourself down the path of your goals. Make a plan. Write it down. Write out your goal. Write out your plan. Write out your non-negotiable daily standards, your habits. Every day means every day. Write it down so that you can have a path to go down and use that fuel to go down. And do not listen to the world. Do not let them pacify you. Do not let them neuter you. Use that fuel to go accomplish your goals and become the person that you were created to be, and work on it every single day, because every day means every day. By the way, if you're interested in habit tracking technology, if you're interested in courses on fitness education, on mindset, on peak performance, on any of the stuff that we talked about today. We got energy drinks, we got apparel, we got an app, all of that. Go to everydaymeanseveryday.com. I'll see you over there. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, share, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.